Hey guys, today we're checking out a really interesting motherboard from Asrock. It is the 939Dual SATA2, and what makes this motherboard so interesting is that it supports older and newer graphics cards. This motherboard has an AGP 8X interface, so we can use older graphics cards like this ATI Radeon 9700 Pro. But it also has a PCI Express 16X interface, so we can use something more modern and more powerful like this Radeon X1800 XT. A big thank you to Jake for donating this motherboard to our YouTube channel. I've had it for quite a while, but it was only now that I'm getting around to trying it out. So today we're going to use this motherboard and we're going to try out a bunch of games and compare them how they perform on the Radeon 9700 Pro with the AGP interface compared to the Radeon X1800 XT with the PCI Express interface. We also have a Radeon 3650 also with AGP, but no gameplay footage for this one, just a few 3D Mark benchmarks. I was just curious where this card would fit in. Before we take a closer look at the motherboard and have a look at how the video cards perform, there's one more really cool feature about this motherboard. It's got an upgrade CPU socket here, so you could get a board and it would go in here and that would allow you to use AM2 processors. However, this upgrade board is really not worth going for. I had a look at these CPUs that are supported and there's not much difference. For example, on the socket 939 you can get the Athlon 64 FX60, and on the AM2 board you can get the FX62, and there's only a 200 megahertz difference. So the CPU upgrade board, not really worth it. The two types of video cards, AGP and PCI Express, that is a lot more interesting. The chipset on this motherboard is from ULI, and they used to be ALI or Acer Labs Incorporated, and they got bought out by NVIDIA in 2006. So you can use the drivers on the Asrock website, but you can also go directly to NVIDIA and get the latest ULI chipset drivers for this motherboard. The processor we're going to use in this video is the Athlon 64 4000 Plus. We have two sticks of 1 GB each, so 2 GB of DDR400 memory. The motherboard has a 16X PCI Express, a 1X PCI Express, an 8X AGP, and 3 PCI slots. We also have two IDE interfaces. There's a floppy interface. We have two SATA ports. These are part of the chipset. And we have an additional third-party SATA 2 controller right here. So I think it's time to find out what sort of a performance improvement we're seeing going from a AGP Radeon 9700 Pro to the PCI Express X1800 XT. So I'm gonna hook this up with Windows XP Service Pack 3. We're using a 160 gig SATA hard drive, a SATA optical drive. We're gonna install Windows, the drivers, DirectX, and some games.
Oh yeah, keep in mind, civilians are working down here. Don't get excited and shoot at me.
So it's obvious that the X1800 XT is a lot faster, but it's really cool that this is possible on the same motherboard. You can get a very fast AGP video card, but they are quite difficult to find and usually cost a lot more. So the option to upgrade from an AGP card to PCI Express is really interesting. Back in the day, this meant that you could keep your existing AGP card and later upgrade to PCI Express. Today, this could be a really good motherboard for testing and benchmarking because you can have one system to benchmark your AGP and PCI Express video cards. And that's it for this video, guys. Do let me know down below in the comment section, what do you think about this motherboard? And Asrock is known for having made hybrid and dual motherboards. Did you have one of those, and what was your experience? Did the whole concept of future-proofing or using what you have now and upgrading later, did that work out for you, or was it a bit of a gimmick? Thanks for watching, and I shall see you soon with another one.